Hello, tiny artists. My name is Miss Erin and I'm from Makers, and I'm so happy to be here with you today. I know that you must have gone to the library to visit Miss Natalie and Miss Peggy. You went to the children's room, which is open again. Yay! They have so many wonderful books there. Around this time of year, I always start to think about my family a ton, and I do a little gift giving. So I felt like this project would be great if everything you made in it, you could give somebody as a gift. Give to somebody as a gift. I don't know if you noticed my beautiful pendant necklace, but we'll be making this along with some super fun keychains. Now, we have to set ourselves up for success. I typically tell you to cover your surface with paper or an old tablecloth, but I'm not going to do that this time because this month we're using a new medium. It's called Model Magic. Model Magic is very similar to Play-Doh and clay, only unlike Play-Doh, it doesn't crack and kind of lose color when it hardens. And unlike clay, it's incredibly easy to stick together. You don't have to score it or do anything special. It'll just connect. So when you're setting up your area, think about using Play-Doh and use a surface where the Play-Doh isn't going to get really tangled or mushed or all up in it. I'm using just my island table. I also gave you some parchment paper, a little square of parchment paper in your kit, so you can use that to lay down and to work with the Model Magic on. And if you're feeling like you're not really sure what you should use, a baking tray is a great choice as well. Additionally, you're going to need a marker or a drawing utensil. Colors or not, that's up to you. This will be for the inside of these beautiful pendants. You'll need a pair of scissors, a bowl. We'll be using the bowl to dump the beads in so that they're all in one place. And then a plastic rolling pin or a water bottle. I would not use a wooden rolling pin just because there's a chance the Model Magic will get stuck in the grooves. But if you don't have a plastic rolling pin, then this works just as well. It's a great trick I like to use. Okay, I'm gonna flip the camera down so we can get right to work. All right, now here you can see we have all of our supplies. I went ahead and already opened the Model Magic. Here's our little kit of tools. We have a couple of cut straws. These are fun to use like beads. We have some small squares of paper, some cookie cutters, and then I'm borrowing my child's water bottle and use it like a rolling pin. Now you can see we have 3 colors of Model Magic. These are the primary colors. The primary colors are colors that we use to make just about every other color. And we have blue, red, and yellow. Now, I really think I want to work with the whole rainbow, so I'm going to show you how to make 3 new colors: green, purple, and orange. The first thing we want to do is rip our Model Magic in half. I'm going to take the bigger half and set it over there, and I'll keep the smaller half right in front of me. So I'm ripping all of them right in half. Okay? And then once I have these 3 smaller pieces, I'm going to tear them into half too. So I'll have 2 yellows, 2 reds, and 2 blues. Now I'm going to mix them up so that they're all mixing with different colors. For example, I'm going to put my red and my yellow together. I'm going to put my blue and my yellow together, and then I'll put my red and my blue together. And we just mush and gush and roll in our hands, whoops-a-daisy, and squeeze and squish until we get new colors. Here we've got all the rainbow colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. I am going to start by making one of these cute little pendants. And we're going to use the Model Magic to sort of create a frame on this picture. So a frame, just sort of think of a picture frame, how we sort of see the frame go right around the edges and then the center is open for a picture. That's exactly what we're going to do. Now when I get started, when I'm making these projects, I like to pull little pieces off of my Model Magic and then use the smaller pieces. That way I'll have the opportunity to make a lot of different things. Now for this one, you can see my ball is about the size of a marble, maybe. Okay, let's make the frame. So we started with that ball. We're going to roll it out and turn it into a worm. I'm just rolling it out with my fingers, rolling it back and forth, sliding my fingers sort of up and down along the Model Magic. And then once I have a nice little worm, I'm gonna squish it. And I'll take my piece of paper and I'll go along one side, put it on the paper and smush it down a little bit more. You can see that there's a bit of extra Model Magic, and that's no big deal. I'm just gonna tuck it right around the back. Now I'm gonna do the same thing on all other 3 sides. Ta-da! Now we have the cutest little picture frame. I'm gonna make another. This time what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use more than one color. I'm gonna take a little bit of blue, a little bit of yellow, and a little bit of green. And I'm gonna squish them all together. I'm gonna twist them, and mush them, and rip them. Okay, now I'm gonna turn it into a ball. Okay, kind of reminds me of the earth. I'm gonna roll it out. And then squish it. Ta-da! Now we're ready to draw. Okay, so before we start drawing, we want to check on the back and see where the hole is. So you can see my hole is right there, so that means that's going to be the top of my picture. So I'm going to make sure that I draw my picture with wherever the hole is being the top. Ta-da! Now we're ready to draw. Okay, so before we start drawing, we want to check on the back and see where the hole is. So you can see my hole is right there, so that means that's going to be the top of my picture. So I'm going to make sure that I draw my picture with wherever the hole is being the top. Now I'm going to use the cookie cutters. All right, so we'll pull off a chunk of the Model Magic, roll it into a ball, and then I'm going to use this water bottle to help me roll it out. If you have a roller, that's great. I don't think I would use a wooden one because you don't want the Model Magic to get stuck in any of the creases, but anything plastic would do. And if you don't have a roller, like I said, these water bottles work out really great. Okay, we just place the cookie cutter on top, push it down. Ta-da! I'm gonna try more colors than just one this time. I'm not going to mix them as much as I did with the orange, the purple, and the green because I don't want to turn it a new color. I just want to make it sort of a combined look like this, a marbled look. Now I'm going to get this lollipop stick and I'm going to use it to put a hole at the top of my shape. And this is so that we could hang it and hang it from a keychain or hang it from a necklace. The other thing we can do with this Model Magic is make some beads. I'm going to take the same colors as I was using in this heart. So I'm doing purple, orange, and yellow. I'm squishing them together. I'm going to twist them and turn them and fold them and tear them. I'm not going to mix them as much as I was doing to get the purple, green, and orange though. And then I'm just going to roll it into a ball. Ooh, that's beautiful. Now, once I have my sphere, I take my toothpick and I just gently slide it through the middle. I like to twist it back and forth a little bit. That helps it cut through the Model Magic. And then once it comes out the other end, here you go. This could take some practice. It's hard not to squeeze the bead too hard when you're doing it. But the cool thing about Model Magic is that if you mess up, it's very easy to start all over again. I'm just turning my bead back and forth. Actually, that's probably a good way to do it. And there we go. A few of these already prepared, so we are going to move on to the next step. I'm going to take out my toolkit. Now in this toolkit, we had the toothpick and the lollipop, which we were using to make the holes in our shapes. We have some elastic string. We have, oopsie-daisy, some key rings and some of these much smaller rings too. Now, these much smaller rings, I found that when I was doing the project, I didn't actually need them. It's sort of a personal preference. My thought was that you could use them on the keychain ring and then attach your project to it. But as you can see here, I just attached my project directly to the key ring and it was fine. So you have that option there if you'd like. All right, I'm grabbing my string and I'm going to trim it. The first one that I'm going to do is a keychain. Now, when I'm doing this keychain, my string is going to be much smaller than it would a necklace. I took my beads and put them in the bowl. That way they're much easier for me to get to. And I'm going to take one of the smaller beads and I'm tying it on the end of my string. And this is just to hold the pendant and all the other beads there. So this bead is going to act like a stopper. Grown-ups, I just do sort of a triple knot, something that I feel like is gonna hold. And then we can put the pendant. We're putting this bead on the back of the pendant. So we'll go through like this. Okay, and then we can start threading our beads. Now I think this is probably long enough for a keychain. I'm going to make a loop knot. This is a good opportunity for grown-ups to kind of step in and help just a smidge. And then I have the knot here, make it real tight, trim off the edge, and then we can slip it right onto the key ring. When we're working with the pendants, what we first want to do is make sure if your Model Magic is covering the hole the string is going to go through, that we make sure we use the toothpick to sort of get it to go all the way through, poke it all the way through. Okay, and I am noticing that I didn't do a great job smushing my Model Magic to my paper, so I am doing a little bit more of that. Once it dries, the Model Magic really sticks to the paper, so as long as it's just kind of smushed down there, after it dries, it'll stay. Now I'm making this pendant necklace, something that looks like this. And so I want to show you the easiest way that I found to tie it is to take the two ends, measure your neck first so you know exactly how long you'd like the string, and then take the two ends and put them together so you can find the middle. Then we'll take the middle and going through the back again, we'll put that loop through the back of our paper. And then we're just doing a little slip knot here. We're then putting the two strands through that loop. And then we can tighten it a little bit. This just helps so that kids could add beads to both sides without maybe filling it up before adding this one, or adding this one when it's on the very end. And then you can go ahead and thread. I take the two ends, tie them together, and voila, ta-da! Hopefully you were able to make a few different gifts for some family or friends, and you might even have some Model Magic left over for yourself. Now, if you want to save it for a later time, I recommend you wrap it in foil and then put it in a Ziploc bag just to keep it nice and airtight. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today. I hope that you had fun, and I really, really hope that I get to see you in the studio sometime soon.